How did the thief snatch the golden egg so easily? Our physical, technical, and administrative controls were on a coffee break. Guess they thought security was an extra job.
Dave on Cyber.
Hello cyber folks, welcome to Dave on Cyber. This video is part of my series CISSP as an Art, and this video clip is from my favorite film Ocean 12. You can see Vincent's character, the Night Fox, is dancing around the laser in a museum to steal the golden egg. In this one, we are going to explore what are the three main control categories we have. So we will understand that, and in the second one we will understand the control functions for each and every security control, what each one do. So let's get started. So the first security control category is physical. So our character, the Night Fox, who wants to steal the golden egg here, has to go through series of physical barrier, and that's where physical security comes into the picture. It's a first line of defense. Your security fence, your dog security guard, even your surveillance camera, any motion sensor you can think of, it all comes into this line of defense. So the essential part of this line of defense is, I want you to think about the perimeter. The core part of this one is how you're going to surveillance and how you're going to provide the security access. We will deep dive into detail about how physical security can be implemented, but as of now let's just stick to high level category view. The second one is logical. That's where all the technology come into the picture. In this film, Night Fox trained himself for many months to go through this laser, because this laser has a specific pattern that no ordinary man can just go and steal the egg. So Night Fox trained himself with so much focus and dedicated music. I love that scene. You should go and check out. I'll put a link in the description as well. And that dance was so precise, and it was the perfect hack to go through the entire logical barrier, or how he literally hacked the technology of this pattern, the laser pattern, and stole the egg. But on a control category point of view, think about the technology. So that's where your all the multi-factor authentication, biometrics, your firewall, IPS, IDS. It does include your SIEM alerts if egg is being monitored by any motion sensor, and if anybody steal, if it triggers the alarm, how it's going to monitor. So think about the monitoring. In the access control, I mentioned about the biometrics and MFA. So that includes how dedicated authorized personnel is going to access the egg, whether he's going to only access via username and password, or you have fingerprint or other biometric factors like retina scan in place. All this comes into this technology. Think of as an invisible defender. The final one is administrative. It's pretty boring, but that's where all the management comes into the picture. So you want to think about the management, how you're going to hire the security guard. Do you just have one guard, or you will have multiple guard? Do they have rotation of the job to make sure the dedicated guard is not compromised? Have you considered about their background check, how you're going to hire them? Think about the security policy. Do you have your security plan in place? If anything is breached, do you have your security plan handy? Also, your training and development comes here handy. You want to make sure your staff is fully trained. Think about separation of duty. If one person is bringing the egg from place A to place B inside the vault, is he going to be the same person who will also access the egg? Then that's a worry. So you want to separate the duty between different people. Also, who is going to access the egg when it's inside the vault? Let's not give one person full control. Then I want you to think about dual control. So when they both turn the key, or when they both authorized personnel enter the password or pattern at the same time, the access should be allowed. So all the dual controls, your separation of duty comes as part of your administrative policy. Also think about least privilege. If any person is not authorized to enter in a dedicated room, then he should not have access. When you think about security, I want you to think about layers. I always keep this in mind, that you want to think like onion, and that's the best way, because this is what you call defense of depth. You want to think in layers. If one security control fails, then other kicks in. And if this is your asset that you want to protect, it could be egg, or it could be web server, or it could be any sensitive piece of information. So that's your asset. The first line of control or defense you want to put here is with your admin controls, which is very important. Technology, the other fancy physical feature comes later, but it starts with management. So think about your admin control. That should be your first priority. The second one is your technology or your logical controls, and the third one is your physical. I'll put one CISSP style scenario question in a comment section. Check that out. It's not a complex topic, but it's quite essential to build the foundation. And please write your explanation, not just multiple answer. So please check that out. But what I'm interested to explore in the next part is, what if night fox still get the egg and run away? That brings the new discussion about how can you implement each and every control. If damage is happened, then what could you have done at first place? So let's explore that and continue. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. There is a ton of content coming for CISSP as an art, and also my newsletter Day on Cyber, where I send monthly resources for everything I learn. Stay curious and stay artistic. I'll see you in the next video.